guys, John here, and today we're back with more Temu weird tools. Now, go and watch part 1 if you're not fully up to speed. We found 20 quirky, interesting, weird Temu tools featuring the likes of the two-handed broadsword screwdriver. This epic beastie screwdriver was pictured as a broadsword. We had that. What else did we have? The £10 Viking arm. So this is like a £10 for a pair of trade lift Viking arms. Pretty mental. We also had the old flexible level, and my personal favourite was the telescopic level. All of this was in part 1. And another little favourite, a £3 Ratchet cutter. Some absolute bangers in the first episode, and that was only half of it, because I've still got a full box of quirky, weird Temu tools to look through here. But in this video, not only do we have some more weird tools to show you, but we're also going to be putting together the ultimate Temu toolkit, because they don't just have weird stuff, they also have some standard household tools, but they're all purple. We had a couple last week, which were the purple pliers. These were a bit of a teaser. There's loads more purple tools, so as we're going through, we're going to be laying them out and creating the ultimate purple Temu toolkit, as well as some more weird tools, just like the likes of this stuff. So, before we get into the box, this video is now sponsored by Temu. They saw part 1, they loved it, and they reached out to me and said, we'll send you some tools to do a giveaway on the channel. Now, I couldn't refuse that. I thought there's some absolute belters in this lineup. There's some weird, quirky stuff, but there were some really quality tools. So I thought they can send us 5 of each and we can do a giveaway. You know how we do it on this channel. And alongside the giveaway, they've also sent me some more quirky tools too, which have all been added to the box.
Oh, what's in the box?
And Temu have been kind enough and hooked us up with a discount code, to make sure you use that to get a £100 voucher for your next tool order. We'll put a link in the description. So, let's get into it. This big old beastie bag here, the postman wasn't grateful for. When he turned up with this at my door, he was cursing me. Because this thing went through the standard Royal Mail network, which I don't think technically it's allowed to be over 2 kilos, and this thing is probably about 10 kilos, and it's full of stuff. So I'll put it there, and I'll pull the items out one by one, starting with another level. This is a laser level, and as we did before, I'll tell you the prices I paid for this stuff. Like I said, I spent over £600 on weird Temu tools. The RRP was over 2 grand. But what I've been doing is giving you the price I paid and the RRP price, and that way you get a full picture of what's happening. So this thing was £7.11 and RRP £20.49, and it is a multifunctional laser level kit. Standard crosshair metric tape, so it's got a tape measure on it, and would you believe it, full tape measure built in. How long does that go? 2.5 metre tape measure. It works pretty well. £7, you got a tape measure. We've got a laser with spare batteries too, and it's a level. Traditional level. £7, that is not bad. It's one of these gimmicky items. Are you actually going to have that in your tool bag? I mean, it's kind of a backup. Maybe you have it in your house. Whether or not you trust the laser. Got crosshairs on it. Maybe you would. £7 though, that isn't bad. That is a pretty cool pickup. Not the weirdest thing I've ever seen, but it's pretty unusual. Next up, another brown nondescript box with no label on it. And this is FUBAR. FUBAR. They put a bit of heat shrink on it and then it shrunk down on there. That was £18.47, RRP £47.59. There was a much nicer one, the exact same as this, in Bauhaus. I never decided to buy it. But it's a rescue hammer, crowbar, fire, demolition, all in one design. You're not hammering much with that. Look at the head on that. It's coming to a point, so you're definitely not using it as a hammer because you'd struggle to hit the head of the nail. But maybe as a pry bar. Put some pictures up here of all the uses. But it just feels like that would snap. It's very thin, it's like a biscuit. I can imagine that just snapping in half. £18.79 is not good for that. Next up, another nondescript bag. Now, I got a bit carried away with this order. I did 9 separate orders on Temu, and that's how you get the most value. That's how you get the best deal. Basically, on this one, I just started adding everything that looked a bit unusual. This is a T-bar for like spinning sockets in and then holding onto the handle. Effortless T-shaped socket wrench. £34.81 RRP. I paid £6.29. Pretty good, £6.29. And it's going to a 1/2 inch with a 3/8 on that end. Bit clunky, to be honest. Another little quirky tool, effortless. There's effort to be had there because that's going off center and then it's not really spinning. You get a Bondus Allen key and it's like a flywheel effect. That one's kind of not quite there. Right, let's keep going. What else have we got in the bag? Another nondescript white mail bag. This one, a multi-wrench. £44.07 RRP, no chance that, is it? 23 in 1, £9.21 I paid. And what they're saying is that this one here will do from 12mm to 19mm, and it lists all the increments by a millimetre, rather than putting 12-19. And the idea is you can wind it in or out to do all those different sizes. And again, they've put some random bit of heat shrink round. But this time there's a bit of glue squeezing out the gap. It's not a bad idea, to be fair. If that actually clamped onto a nut and it actually held onto it without rounding, it's quite a chunky item. It's a bit ropey, the manufacturing of it, with this little bit of like, if you zoom in on that, you can see the tape. It's just heat shrink round a joint. Not very good, really. £9's not a lot though, is it? Let's keep going. What else have we got in this bag? Professional. That's all it says, professional. Whatever it is, it's professional. And it is a torch. Now this is from my purple toolkit. I thought every good toolkit needs a torch, and this one had a purple bezel on it, and it looked like it was a purple light. Yes, UV black light flashlight, intense ultraviolet light for invisible ink, stain detection and resin curing. I just thought it was a purple torch to go with my purple toolkit. It's always handy to have a UV light, isn't it? I was in an escape room the other day and I needed a UV light. That's pretty cool. It's going in my toolkit nonetheless. And that was £12.79. I thought it was going to show me a nice LED torch. You can pay 60, 70 quid for a good like O-Light, really solid USB-C charged torch. And I thought 12 quid, because that's a full aluminium body and it feels nice. I thought as an LED goes, £12.79, RRP 31.49. That would have been pretty good. Back into the bag. Another white bubble mailer. Multifunction tool. Chint. This is what drew my eye to this one, the brand Chint. You get a lot of electrical boxes and MCBs Chint over in the UK. I'm pretty sure it's not the same Chint that make these, but there's a crossover because they are listed as a electrical multifunction tool. This thing was 13-in-1 electrician's wire stripper, crimping pliers, long nose pliers, £14.34 I paid for this, £26.49 RRP. And they seem pretty good then. It's got a blade through that hole and it says 1 to 5 mil. So obviously we've got wire strippers on the end, we've got a cable cutter and we've got needle nose pliers. Then we've got some other stuff down here, look at this. Got something there, something in the middle here with a little blade in it. Not very expensive, was it? 14 quid for a multifunction tool. I'll have to give that a go. Chint as well, so not so bad. On to the next item. This bag is still pretty hefty. This one has actually got a picture of the product on it. I still can't remember what it was. Some sort of gun tool. So this, as far as I remember it, has a little holder for bits in the trigger, and I paid £13.94 for this one. It's pretty cool, isn't it? It's got some weird bits with it. It doesn't even have a Phillips or a posi drive. It's just got some security bits. Got a nice ratcheting mechanism, that. It feels quite nice. This is a bit of a weird grip though. And I can't imagine put it on the side and then trying to, what the heck's going on here? When are you ever going to want to do that? That is not a winner for me. That feels quite nice. The metalwork there is pretty good, but this whole handle, it's a bit short. Look at that, half my hand's hanging off the bottom of the trigger. That's nice, but it's only got 6 bits in it. Then where's this supposed to go? You've lost a lot of the idea of the thing. If it's 14-in-1, if I put another row of these with it, it's 28-in-1. Or you can't just put bits with it and go, it's 14-in-1. That is another row of bits. That's 24-in-1. It's not how it works. They've got to be inside it. Well, what was it again? £13.94. It's hit and miss, and that is a miss for me. Right, on to the next. Another nondescript bubble mailer. And we've got a tape measure. Anything that looked a bit weird, I added. So this was £5.99, reduced from £12.60, and that's a bit different. Green on black, and also we've got vertical markings. So we saw a medded tape measure, and that was in the Europe's Tool Fair, and I really like the vertical markings. When you're actually measuring a height, it makes it so much easier on vertical markings. Nothing else that special about it. It's in a quirky little clear case, and I think that's a pretty cool one. Back into the box. Another nondescript brown box. This thing, what was this? Stainless steel measuring clip, multifunction precision tool for carpentry. Now, this thing was only cheap, £1.71, and I remember seeing it and thinking, that could be useful, but it also could be absolute dud. So this thing is supposed to screw onto the back of a tape measure, where you've got the screw that holds the clip. Let's do it with this one. Seems I've got all of the pieces here. I've got this dodgy screwdriver. That is the right one. It's a Phillips bit. Oh, there we go. That is such an uncomfortable position for a screwdriver. That is flipping hopeless. That's gone down. That's gone down in my books. You remove the clip and then attach this, and it turns any tape measure into basically like an adjustable compass. See, it's not great already because the little upstand on the tape measure is blocking it. I'll pull it through, we'll persevere. The idea is you put a pencil in there, lock it in place, and then you can put that on a nail and you can do a circle of any size. Not bad for £1.79. I'll put a picture on the screen of it being demonstrated. RRP £15.84 on that little clip. Some of these RRPs just make no sense, do they? Right, next out of the goodie bag is another white Nondescript mailer. This is an item that I think best sums up random multi-function tools because it's a set of pliers with some extra bits welded on the side. A nut breaker, essentially. Like at some point, someone's thought, you know, well, bullnose pliers, we've got loads of them. How can we make them multifunction? No one is reaching for that to undo a nut. It's too shallow and it's just awkward. It doesn't even say on it what size it is. So we've got a 14mm spanner, 12mm spanner, and a 27mm spanner welded to a pair of combination pliers with a little nut cracker. That is a quirky tool if ever I've seen one. And I would say quite unnecessary, but maybe you disagree. This is all a discussion. Do you like this? £9.09 that was. RRP £23.49. They just call it the rust resistant welding pliers. Well, that's just normal steel, so I think the oil coating is what's making it rust resistant. Welders, professional welders pliers. Maybe that's handy for a welder, I don't know. But there we go, it's in the pile of quirky tools. Next up, we've got some drill bits. 5-piece precision carbide drill bit for wood and lock holes. The thing that drew my eye was just the whole design of it looks unusual. Let's get one out. And I thought, what's the need? So this is like a force and a bit end, but then you've got this fluting, which just seems totally unnecessary, really. Normal force and a bit has just got a shaft on it. Why does it need this fluting? Because it's just kind of superfluous. It's just not really required. How much were they? £10.38 for 5 force and a bits, long 1/4-inch force and a bits, basically, but with a little bit of fluting on. Quirky, let me know, what do you think? Which one of these tools has caught your eye as something you would like to get? Here we go, this is something interesting. This is the Universal Angle Grinder Wrench. I mean, this isn't something new, but it was a £1.95. Oh, it's a bit tight, I can't even get it undone. And if you've ever bought a grinder, you'll know it comes with a grinder wrench to undo it. I never really use that, but this is a universal one, fits any grinder. I thought it was something handy to have. Seen them before, but never owned one, and now I've got one for £1.95 in the workshop. Any grinder of any brand, I can just use that. Pretty cool. I think that was a good pickup for a £1.95. £15.50 RRP. That can go in me pile of nice things. I quite like that one. Next up, another white nondescript box, purple tool. I like the look of this thing, and it's got a good weight to it, so I feel like I'm gonna like it already. Where's that on my list? It's not a speed square, but it's just like a set square. Aluminium, purple. £7.47 for that. It's got nice markings too, nice and clean markings. Metric, gotta love metric. £59.06 RRP, which sounds ridiculous until you do look at some of these precision kind of aluminium milled squares and things from Woodpecker Tools are crazy money. So £59, you know, maybe in some world that's an RRP of 59 quid. I paid £7.47 and it's a purple tool to go in my purple toolkit, which I'm quite happy about. Let's go back to my bag, a mystery bag of goodies. I tell you, it's like the bottomless flipping pit, this. Here's a box with no name on it, and I've got to cut the bubble wrap off to get into this one. Another pair of pliers of some description. Oh, this, I remember some of these, as I'm seeing them, I'm remembering adding them to the basket. Who thought it was a good idea to weld a hammerhead on a pair of end cutters? You can call them like fencer's nips, end nips. They use them for like spinning wire and then cutting it off, and then someone thought, let's weld a hammer on that. That'll be well good. How much was this thing? And what have they called it? They called this one multifunction iron pliers with hammerhead, extended handle, wire twisting and nail pulling. £10.88, £37.28 RRP. Totally unnecessary. That's in the same bracket as this. They've just welded spanner heads on a plier there, and they've welded a hammerhead on some pliers there. Those two are mental, in my opinion. But that's why I bought them. I bought them because I just thought, surely, is it even real? I just thought it's the craziest stuff to show you. I thought, may as well get it and have a look. Right, next up, let's have a look. Another thing with a red handle. So we've got a heavy duty 6 to 20mm ratchet wrench. And again, anything that was a bit of a quirky adjustable, I thought let's pick it up. This thing was a £17.66, quite expensive actually. RRP £57.63. And it's like no other adjustable this. You've got like a winding wheel on the back. It's ratcheting and you can kind of move it into position and then tweak it. But that is a really ropey sounding thing. Not a winner for me, that one. Especially this whole back end's plastic as well. Big old clunky thing. Not sure on that one. Next up, let's have a look. Nondescript cardboard box, chucked in the old Temu bag. It's so funny, the packaging on this stuff. You can tell this is never going to be on a shop shelf, because you never guess what anything is. This thing is like an imitation of a Hate seeing this. Look, heat shrink again. Just covered in heat shrink. So this is called the offset extender. I've seen a couple of these online, and essentially for getting right down into like an awkward engine and undoing a socket, £17.82. RRP £76.86, and I can believe that, to be fair. The only thing is, it doesn't sound too healthy, does it, that? Not a solid tool shouldn't really have heat shrink on it and then rattling around like that. What is loose in there? Goodness knows. Right, on to the next item. This is another tool that claims to be multifunction. This is the weirdest one yet. This is a really weird looking thing. This is called the 10-in-1 multifunction iron hammer with non-slip handle, portable drawable hammer, wrench, screwdriver, nail gun, pipe pliers, nail puller.
A few moments later.
Punch holes, wire cutter, tool for home and outdoor camping. 10 quid, £10.50 this was. And it was £56.36 RRP. That is some clunky ropey tool. Use it as a hammer, hammering concrete nails in. So you literally hammer on top of that. So they're picturing that you hammer this with a hammer. Use it as a screwdriver. Look at that. So there's a little dodgy looking 1/4-inch hole there that doesn't even fit in. They're saying that's your screwdriver there. Use it as a screwdriver. Fantastic. Have you got your screwdriver? Here you go. There's my screwdriver. Use it as pliers. Well, you can kind of make sense, but even then, that is a ropey pair of pliers. They are really stiff. Use as a pipe wrench. Pull out nails. I'm not sure how you're pulling out nails. Oh yeah, you can see the little claw on the back there. They put a claw on it, so you say, right, pulls nails that. Twist wires with it. Oh, I suppose you can do that with any pair of pliers. That is the worst one. That is the worst one, I think, so far. Just really tight. Put a 1/4-inch hole in any bit of metal and call it a screwdriver, why don't you? Flow my neck. That is not the best. They call that the prime hammer. Prime hammer, goodness me. Next in the bag, another nondescript box. There's loads of these. It adds to the mystery of it. A little white box. I remember this. An imitation. I've actually got a pair of Leatherman Raptor scissors, and they're exactly the same as this. I wonder if these are any good. They feel pretty nice. Don't feel too different to the Leatherman Raptors. And essentially, they're like survival or emergency heavy-duty scissors. And then they fold down, so it's a full-size pair of scissors. And it folds down, and that is not bad. It's about £90 for a pair of Leatherman Raptors. This was £13.64, RRP 36. That's probably one of the first reasonable RRP prices. I like that, feels nice. And exactly the same as the Leatherman Raptors, you've got this little hook on here, which is for cutting things, but I think they advertise it for cutting seatbelts, pulling through. Whether or not they can actually sell that, if it's not patented design, I'm sure there's people at Leatherman are playing hell about that, and it's got a little glass breaker on the end as well. Exactly the same. So they call them the 6-in-1 multifunction folding scissors. £13.64. Like those, and they're going in my purple toolkit, which is nice. We're getting near the end now. There's only a few items left in this bag. This one, everything's a hammer. Everything, every tool. Well, if you put a lump of metal on it, it turns into a hammer now, and then it's multifunction. This one is the one-piece multifunction paint bucket lid opener, labour-saving can opener, rust-resistant sturdy aluminium hammer. New Shark, £6.42, RRP £11.99. Well, RRP is not too far off either. Really, really light. So that's for opening tins. Next box, this is quite a cool one. £7.59, so this is decent, because I know what this is. This is a VDE screwdriver set, but for £7.59, it could be good. So you've got a nice, that handle feels all right. And then you've got a little thing over there that you push. So obviously you get the bit out. A little bit difficult to get out, but not too bad. So that's your screwdriver holder. And then you've got your bits. The one question really is, why does that need to come out? Because that would be absolutely perfect just like that. Because it's just a bit holder, an insulated bit holder. But maybe they just wanted it smaller in the pouch. But without any other attachments, what's the point in having that? But there you go. Quite nice, £7.59 is not bad for that. RRP £23.39. I like that one, that's not too bad. It's not going in my top 5 because a bit pointless having it as detachable without any extra attaching heads. But nice little set, £7.59, not too bad, certainly not the worst. On to the next one. Another set of drill bits. Any of these quirky items that had a funny picture on Temu, I will just bang them on the screen. So the lid slides off. These drill bits look very dramatic. The listing made them look like bullets. Essentially, it's a ceramic bit, but then they fluted this as well. I think they've got a habit of fluting drill bits to make them look better. So this is the 7-piece multi-purpose high hardness tungsten steel cross hexagonal tile punching. You don't want to be tile punching. Trick with tiles is just drilling through them slowly, not having you drill on hammer setting and just going steady with it. Definitely not punching. Woodworker drill as well. bit, reaming, tool specialist, bit of everything. These £6.64, £18.79 RRP. They're all in there. We've definitely got 7. Look dramatic, don't they? Right, let's on to the next. What have we got left in here now? We're on to the last 2 items. So I've got one big box and we've got this thing. Another one of these little quirky spanners, but this one's called Work Pro. That's the kind of thing that might turn up in Aldi. This one came off Temu. Very similar to this one. I didn't realise I bought 2 the same, or 2 very similar. What's the price of that one? This one was £9.21, reduced from £44.07. This one was £12.74, it's more expensive, reduced from £36.99, and this one is ropey as. It's got heat shrink on it, but it feels pretty solid, and when you're winding it, there's no rattle. Whereas this thing, the whole thing's rattling around. And that's 5 to 11, 11 to 16. This is 7 to 11, 12 to 19. So this one goes a bit smaller, but I would never use those. They are not my bag at all. Right, last item in this Temu bag is the Dexion electric 5-in-1 multifunction plier set. Wire stripper, cutter, crimper and more, professional grade, £21.07. Now I remember thinking this could be a good tool because it's a set of pliers with multiple different heads, which I've not seen before. And I think this kind of thing where you're just welding bits of metal on to make them into a multifunction, I can't really get on board with that one. But this idea where you've got a pair of pliers, so that's bullnose pliers or combination pliers, but then somehow this head detaches and then you can put on another head. There's 4 other heads here, which is not a bad idea. I quite like that. We've got a pair of wire cutters. Pleasantly surprised so far. That's pretty good. So that's the wire strippers. And then to change the jaw, I just squeeze them together, take that head out. This is a crimper, but also a long nose plier. And then we've got a cable shear, and then just a pair of just general like shears. So I don't know what they call them. That's definitely like a cable shear. It just says cable, cutter, crimper and more. So they're like garden shears, aren't they? Although garden shears have a little bit of a round on them, but generally just a pair of scissors. It's got a nice feel to them. They feel really solid, nothing's wobbling around. And then to change the heads is really nice and easy. Just squeeze them in. I have to say, that is one of my top picks, I think. That is really cool. £21, so not the cheapest, but it's an unusual tool that I've not seen a setup like that before. And you've literally got 1 pair of pliers that's doing 4 functions there. That's one of my favourite picks, I think. That's a bit of a stinker. A few other stinkers in this pile. Can't say there's anything else I really like there. These weren't so bad, I suppose. If I knew what the other tools were, they feel pretty good quality. Right, on to the last bag of stuff. Now, hopefully there's some more purple tools in here, because I'm pretty sure there's a load of them that I ordered. So, first item, tape measure. It's a nice round 25 feet. And then in UK, we use metric, or the rest of the world, to be honest, we use metric, don't we? And it ends up being a 7.5 metre tape rather than an 8 metre, which is what we usually see if it's a dedicated UK tape. Quite a nice one, top Forza. Nothing really much to say about it. So basically, I ordered a load of basic tools from Temu. There you go, there's another one. 3 metre, 10 feet. Let me tell you the prices. So the 7.5 metre tape, this one, RRP, £23.29. I paid £9.44. We've also got the 3 metre tape. This one was £4.99, reduced from £11.98. So that's, you know, average that you'd pay. Next one, this is a 1/4" bit driver. I picked up all the purple stuff. Some of it's a bit unusual. Most of it's quite standard. This is the 11-piece aluminium bit driver. £18.98, blooming heck. You've had me there. Some of these items, I just got a bit trigger happy, I think, chucking them in the basket. That's a lot, £18.98 for a tiny little 1/4" bit driver. Is it a nice one? The bits don't seem that great. Nice fine adjustment, feels quite nice. Not too bad actually. Next item, lucky bag. I can feel a handle of something. It's the hammer. It's quite a small claw hammer, this. Looked bigger in the picture. I thought it was gonna be like a 16-ounce normal kind of hammer. £13.98 for an 8-ounce. So it did say 8 ounce to be fair. Carbon steel, nothing else to really say about it. It is what you'd expect. The top Forza, as all these purple things are, RRP £36.46. As you can see, I've got some purple shadow foam here to kind of organise some tools into, and that liner fits perfectly in one of these drawers. So I thought we could have a Temu tools drawer. Now we do have a giveaway on this video, but I'm going to tell you that you have to stay tuned to the end to see what that's going to be. It's going to be a good one. I'm quite excited to share that with you. This though, some sort of quirky screwdriver. This is the 7-in-1 exchangeable ratcheting screwdriver. So you've got stubby screwdriver, ratcheting stubby screwdriver, quite a small one. But then you take that out, you put that on, and you've got a full length screwdriver, flathead and Phillips. Like that, that is a winner. £12.59, RRP £52.49. Don't believe the RRPs, that's crazy. Does the top come off it? It'd be nice if that top came off. and the bit stored in there, but hey ho, can't have everything. They're going in my purple toolkit, like that. Next up is a bag of actual screwdrivers. This is the Top Forza screwdriver set. RRP on this set, £62.79. I paid £25.48. Why did I do that? All for the intrigue of Temu and seeing what it's all about. I think it can't just be the weird stuff. Next up, another 1/4-inch bit driver. This one was £14.78. And you can see it's a bit of a weird shape, this one. RRP, £36.99. This one, though, is a 1/4-inch drive. So this is for sockets. Ratcheting, yeah, quite a nice feel to that. Bit of a weird handle, but quite a lot for £14.78, that, to be fair. It's just like anything goes. Any shape, just to make it a bit different and sell it. Precision wire stripper, £12.74. I felt like that completed our plier set. So in our last Temu video, you go and check that out here. If you've not already, you should have watched that by now, surely. That one's got a load of other banging tools in it, and in that we got the plier set, bull nose pliers, long nose pliers, snips, and some cable shears. We didn't have any cable strippers, but they're not bad. They certainly complete the set. Quite a lot though. £12.74, £28.49 RRP. I'd say they just complete the tool set really. Can't really say much more than that. Nothing too special about them. These were nice. Micro snips, you can pay a lot for a pair of precision cutting pliers. These were £12.48, reduced from £44.28. And they seem quite nice. They line up quite well. That's the big test really with these. Do they even line up? And they seem to. Don't open very wide, but I think they're quite a handy tool to have in a toolkit, so not bad. Oh, we're getting to the last few items now. I can only feel 1 or 2 left in there. This is a regular Wish or Temu little universal socket. You see these regularly. We actually picked one of these up. I think it was called the Gator Grip from America. This is the Temu version in purple, £5.98, 7mm up to 19mm, and it's got all these little pins in it basically, so you push that over any fixing and it will fit. I don't really get on with them. I'm not a big fan of them, but that was £5.98, £21.33 RRP. I thought may as well pick one up, and it's purple. As you can see, we're going for the theme, all the purple tools. What's left? One item, and that is their Precision Watchmaker's Screwdriver Kit. They feel quite nice. That feels better than this set of little watchmaker screwdrivers we bought. That was in the last Temu video. This is nicer. £15.98 reduced from £38.99. I like them. And that finishes off our that is a lot of purple tools. I bet you didn't know that many purple tools existed. I didn't. But with all that being said, I've got a purple toolkit to cut into shadow foam. And if you don't know what shadow foam is, it's cut and peel foam for organising tools. This product here is what I developed 12 years ago, and it's a way of organising tools nice, quick and easy. You just lay out the tools, cut around them, peel back foam and create some amazing displays. All of these foam panels you can see around me have been cut using shadow foam, just the same technique, all done by hand. If you want some shadow foam, you can get one of our starter kits. A big box of foam like this, 5 sheets of 30mm, 60 by 42 centimetres, and a cutting kit and a ruler, which is enough foam to organise 5 drawers in a typical toolbox like you've got here. So about £7 or £8 a drawer, and you've got the cutting kit with everything you need. So let me show you how easy it is and get all of this purple. I don't even know if it's all going to fit, but let me do a layout, cut it all in and show you how good it looks. So there we go, that is a full toolkit, all in purple, all from Temu, and I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. There's some real hidden gems in amongst that toolkit, and that brings me to some of my favourite hidden gems in that whole kind of box of Temu tools. They did hook us up with 5 of the flexible levels. This one did surprise me. I thought this was going to be a lot jankier than it was, but it's a really decent thing, and they've sent me 5 of those for the giveaway. We've got 5 of the plier sets, and again, this was another little gem in the fact that I thought it was going to be a bit ropey, but the head change is nice. It's really solid, and it's 5 tools in one, and 5 useful tools at that. And then finally, I've got 5 of the Ratchet and pipe cutters, which these can cost a lot of money, and this was a real good bargain, to be fair. So they sent me 5 of each of those. That's the giveaway bundle. If you want to get involved, all you've got to do is head down to the comments and get involved in the conversation about Temu. It's quite a controversial Temu app. I do read all the comments and I reply to as many as I can. And all we do to draw the winner is pick 5 random comments, and it doesn't matter where you are in the world, we'll get your address and ship this little bundle out to you. So make sure you've dropped a comment, like the video, and subscribe to the channel as well. It all really helps. Thanks very much to Temu for sending all these prizes across. It's really appreciated and great timing. Glad you enjoyed part 1, Temu, and hopefully you enjoyed this one. Go steady on your notifications though, Temu. I'm getting text messages and emails out the wazoo, and I don't think you need to go that hard, if I'm honest. I think you've got some good tools on the app, so you know, calm it down is my advice. And remember to use my discount code on Temu to get some great deals on tools. We'll put a link in the description for that. Thanks very much for watching the video, and we'll see you in the next one.